ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us on the main stage for our next conversation around health and nutrition. So this next conversation will explore innovative strategies and models aimed at tackling food and water waste while promoting sustainable practices in health and nutrition. And I'm joined today by our distinguished guests who are here to speak about it. So with us, let me call them on stage. We have Budur Abdullah Al-Sudari, Abbas Khan, and Franck Ponte. Come on, some noise. Fantastic. Frank, so you brought your garden with you. I love it.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for joining. It's great. So probably we'll start with taking a few hand mics and do a quick round of introduction so that we know who is who. There you go. Maybe this one for Frank or Abbas. All right. So I will start probably with Frank. Frank, you're a master chef and culinary country manager for Corporate Crest. But I think the best way is you introduce yourself. You would be more relevant than me.
Okay, so I've got 30 seconds, so I need to be quick. My name is Frank Ponte. I'm a country manager for Corporate Crest. So Corporate Crest, it's a growers of microgreens, plant and edible flowers based in the Netherlands. So I'm taking care of the UK, the UK market, the Asian market, and the Middle East also. So that's why we're here on the Sirha to show our products and see what we can get.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And Budur is with us. So Budur, I think you will speak best about Tanmia Food Company and tell us a little bit more about yourself. Would be nice to hear from yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is Budur Zderi. I'm head corporate communication at Tanmia Food Company. I'm focusing about sustainability projects. I'm happy now today. I'm with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Budur. And Abbas is accompanying you. So Abbas, you are the Chief Strategy Officer.
That's correct. My name is Abbas Khan. I'm heading the strategy department of Tanmia Food Company. Tanmia is a food company focusing into all the entire value chain from farm to fork. So production, hatching, broiler, breeders, feed milling, and then further processing the entire value chain. Tanmia is one of the largest poultry company in Saudi Arabia.
Fantastic. So Abdul, you didn't say it, but you are a renowned Saudi artist, right?
Yes, right.
She's being very modest. So renowned Saudi
Thank you so
artist,
much.
communication expert, and leading initiatives in communication and sustainability, right? So maybe I'll start with you with the first question here. I know that you have been involved with Musnad Art and the company you just mentioned, and there's this intersection of art, communication, and sustainability, which just is very exciting. So to
Thank you
start,
so much.
probably tell us a little bit more about your work with Musnad Art, how it intersects with.
Actually, I'm coming here to talk about Tanmia Food Company. Now it's a part for me. As a long time, we are participated with private sector and government. If I want to talk about art, yes,
It does play
specialist
a
art.
role. Art plays a role in sustainability, I'm guessing, in promoting environmental awareness. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I have Musnad. It's my studio in Jax at Diriyah. It's a specific for art program. Today, I'm glad to talking about our projects in Tanmia Food Company. There is film. Actually, I wanted to start before any talk about Tanmia Food Company. If you can help us to put our film now.
Hopefully.
Our film, if you can put it now. Thank you. It's the film. It's yes. There is no sign. Music. Yes. Okay.
Yes, it's working.
Great.
العمل السلمي التي تقوم بها المملكة العربية السعودية في مجال التطوير والشرق أوسط العالم، وهي ترجمة لرؤى قيادة الفيلم لديه الشقين. ظهرت تصاعد الظاهرة وتعاطي المنطقة بالانتشار النفسي للحافز.
والشرك المقصود هي شركة التنمية السعودية صاحبة هذه المبادرة،
والتي تهدف إلى زراعة مئة ألف شجرة جاءت بمسيرة تفوق 700 كيلو.
This is, thank you so much. This is one initiative from, yani, we have another initiatives in Tanmia company, and why choose this initiative? Because if you see the first in the first film, there is water treatment. The Tanmia, actually, it's one of the company lead of the sustainability project and department. The lead is يعني ما شاء الله Abbas Khan. He's working a long time to see now one of the important initiative inside Saudi and outside of Saudi, and we are a pleasure to build this story. It's about Million Tree also. We
Okay.
have Million Tree initiative. As you know, in the government, or let's say جودة الحياة, quality of life program, there is a goal for quality of life and sport, tourism, food.
We'll speak more about that, Abdur, if I may, and I'll come back to you on
Sure,
that.
sure.
Maybe Abbas Khan, you want to add something on a more concrete, field, practical. What we've seen a few things in the video here, and Abdur mentioning a few things concretely. Probably, if you can tell us what are some of the ground initiatives that you.
So, as a poultry company, our biggest challenge is what to do with the waste, right? Now, if we are producing, let's say, 500,000 chickens per day, and that involves a lot of water to be treated.
Absolutely.
Now, we are very much aware of the carbon footprints of our operations. Now, being a Saudi company, Saudi-based, which is already in arid zone, it is our it is right on our shoulders to make sure that the water that we produce through our operations gets treated. And this project that you saw is, we call it 1 Million Tree Initiative. What we do now is every chicken that we produce and the water that gets treated to non-agricultural food level, and we are planting 1 million trees right behind our facilities. the video that you saw is we delivered 100,000 trees to Bahrain because they're also facing the same issues.
Same issues,
So
right?
the idea of Tanmiya is basically not to lead the sustainability initiative within Saudi, but also in the region.
In the region,
Yeah.
okay. So we'll speak a little bit more about that. I would like to turn to Frank, who's here with us. And I know there's some innovative practices that you also have initiated. Probably tell us a bit what you've done to address sustainability in the food industry, some of the key practices maybe you've implemented to combat food waste, water waste, etc.
Yeah, and absolutely. So, as you know, might not know, Coppercrest actually is a company based in the Netherlands. And we all know that the Netherlands is below the sea level. So below the sea level, and they've been practicing and they've been actually masterizing the art of how to conduct themselves with water for centuries and centuries. Around the greenhouse, we do have some canal, we call the canal everywhere. We use actually the waters already existed at the canal. We actually filter it. We use in our greenhouse, which is not vertical, because I know there's a lot of debate about vertical farming, which is great, but our greenhouse is not vertical because our owner believes that the sun, so it's flat, it takes a lot of space, but the sun is free, and there is not machine inside it. We just use Mother Nature to actually grow our seeds. We don't use any soil. The water we've got we use in the greenhouse is purified. We use it, and the excess we don't have, put it back in a river next door. Now, in terms of growing process, the growing process for this macrogreen, our seeds are certified. They come from everywhere in the world, but it's to keep a greenhouse. We are talking in the Netherlands. We are not here in Saudi Arabia. In the Netherlands, it's very cold during the winter, and it could be a bit hot during the summer, of course, but it's quite cold during the winter. Our plants are available all year round. So that means also then we actually save some energy. We've got solar panel on top, and also we've got water source on the bottom. A 300 meter source pump on the Coppercrest greenhouse. It's the first time it's been done in Europe. It's the first time we've done it, and it's proven. It was an investment we done 5-6 years ago, and now it's proven very, very profitable and good, because in a way, we store the energy, the hot energy during the winter, during the summer, and we redistribute during the winter time into the greenhouse. So we actually provide the electricity during
Fantastic.
the winter for the rest of the neighbor, not only in a greenhouse.
That's great, not just the plant, but also the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
This is brilliant.
Absolutely. And the other thing also, this was what I bring, and I'll be very quick because I bring this for a reason, is we don't use any soil.
Ah.
So the water I'm talking about, it's all about seeds and Mother Nature. We respect Mother Nature. So the seeds are certified, the seeds come from everywhere in the world, but the plant are already on planet Earth for centuries and centuries. But when you receive a plant like this, it's full of water. So if you see that, full of water, that means when the chef receives it, they can keep it up to 10 days into their fridge also, before they consume it.
Fantastic.
So that's about Netherlands is actually about water. There is a big topic about water in the Netherlands.
Right. So it leads me to my next question about really what are the challenges that you encounter really regarding food waste, water conservation, and how are you tackling those challenges, because it must be tricky. You're in different regions, you've got your own challenges and your own issues and your own particularities. Maybe Abaskan.
So we generate two types of food waste, right? Bio waste and then water waste. So for water waste, what we use primarily, as I mentioned, we treat them to non-food agricultural grade. We use them for irrigation. I'm very interested in this technology. We are also exploring similar technologies in Saudi Arabia, number one. Number two, the other thing is what to do with the waste management, the solid waste. We have launched a very innovative idea and technology to convert biomass into synthetic gas and biochar. Both of these are carbon negative products, okay? And for the biochar, when you further process it, this can be used to fertilize the Saudi soil, which means it will take less water, okay, to grow more trees. So we have launched in 2022, $1 million challenge. We gave it to the challenge winner. They are working on this technology. In 2022, the first one was in 2020. The second challenge we launched in 2022. Again, $1 million prize to any solution, whether company or individual globally, that can help us grow some of the corn and soya and some of the grains that gets imported in Saudi locally.
Right. Given the local particularities where you can't grow them
Exactly.
the same way as we grow them
Absolutely.
elsewhere, which makes sense.
Absolutely.
This
Yeah.
is brilliant.
Yeah. So,
So
Tanmia is investing a lot. We have already given 1 million.
You have some interesting projects being submitted or not yet?
We have applied for patent for the first technology, and we are evaluating, and we should be announcing the results very soon for the second technology.
So, do you want to add something? No, he's being very explicit, I must say. Franck, maybe this one for you. I know that you have your approach to sustainability. You already spoke about a few things, but do you, as a chef, I mean, how do your global culinary trends, especially in the UK or UAE and Asia, has shaped your approach in the way you address sustainability in the food sector? Did it influence it?
Well, the first thing is food waste. You need really careful. More and more people use, so let's say the microgreens, and I'm talking about the things I know the most, which is this, obviously. We do a lot of education in colleges, universities. This is something which is very important because they are the future, chefs are the future. They're going to build the future, so they need to be educated from the base. Waste is very important. So let's say, if I speak to any chef in here, the majority of the chef will say what the microgreens for is garnishes. So, okay, that's fine, that's fair enough. It's very nice garnishes. However, if you use the whole plant and you even use the seeds and you start cooking with the seeds which are actually in a punnet, that means you use all the punnets. That's already, instead to use 50%, instead to use the tip, you use the whole punnets. So there is some education to be done like this. And all our seed focus, sure you know, that's sprouting. And there is three different steps into the growing process of microgreens or any plants. You've got the germinating first, then you've got the sprouting, and then you've got the cress, and then you've got the plant. And if that's a macrogreen, what we call micropousse in French, if it's a macrogreen, it's actually the plant to carry on growing. So we do a lot of education, not only on what the cresses are actually good for your also metabolism, because before we had all these little pills from the pharmacy. 100 years ago, people used to eat plants to feel better. So all of that is we bring it back again and say, hold on a minute, eat well. We try to change the way the people feed themselves as well.
Right.
Eat well, be careful of your health, and don't waste too much. It's a whole thing. It's a whole package. It's not only growing plant and send it around.
Absolutely. And you mentioned a very important word, education, and you're doing that with your chefs. But what about maybe Abdul Abbas Khan? Any initiatives where you are, involved in the aim of educating and engage with communities to reduce water waste, food waste, and water conservation? So what can you share about that, both of you?
So sitting next to a chef here. Okay. So Tanmia launched another project called where we invite chefs on our platform. They use our products, and then they teach sort of how to cook using our food, our chicken.
One of them here, Yasser, Chef
Okay.
Yasser
Okay.
Jad, he's
We
also
need to go and check it out.
usually use our products.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So again, using more sustainable recipes, etc. That's one. for our B2B clients, that's where we really engage with them in sort of explaining what are the products. Like in one of the earlier discussions, you mentioned there's so much data and information on TikTok and Instagram and social media, misleading, right? So we engage with our B2B clients.
That was the point of education. So
Exactly.
it goes.
And also for our retail customers, right? Like, I'll tell you something, right? When I was joining Tanmia, my wife asked me this categorically, okay, can you please check what do they inject chicken? Okay, because there's so much misinformation about how the feed is formulated, what the chicken are we injecting them? I don't know what. That
Simply
gains of
how
weight.
they are being bred.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, what we do, we engage with communities, we engage with our B2B clients, we engage through influencers to make sure that the community is aware what they are eating. It is part of our direct, social responsibility to make sure that not only we produce healthy food, but we also inform and educate people to differentiate between what is healthy and what is not healthy. So it's
If I want, if may I go
Of course.
back about the quality of life. There is a program under Tanmia. It's about the healthy food, and if we're talking about innovation, also there is a new line under our products. It's omega-3. There is also story behind that.
Actually, it's a good point,
Yeah.
actually. So if you go today in the market, right, Tanmia has launched last year a product called chicken with omega-3. Okay, this is the only product in the region which is chicken. When you eat it, you get the same amount of omega-3 that you take if you eat salmon or other fish. We spent 1 year working on R&D with a company based out of Ireland. Then it gets approved by the Saudi Food and Drug Authority. Again, it is to our commitment to produce healthy food to our customers and clients, and again, engage with community and educate them about the point that you made, that a lot of misinformation in the
Right.
market. So yes, omega-3 is a very good point. That's
But on this topic, it's B2B, of course, but also B2C, but we're seeing a lot on social media, as on everywhere, digital world, lots of information that can be misleading, but also there's too much information, you don't know how to distinguish which is right, which is wrong. So I think I'm just asking, at your level, you also have like this responsibility to educate both businesses and consumers about how to, how to pick a product, how to not waste water. Or are there any strategies as a company, and yourself, maybe Frank, if you want to add on that, anything that you're doing to tell people how to, adopt more sustainable practices in their food consumption, in their everyday lives, because we see a lot of things that, sometimes we don't even know what we are looking at. So is this something that you're doing?
Yeah, in a world of plants, world of plant is not new. World of plant has been around for centuries and centuries, as I said. In the UK and also in the Netherlands now, we've got a lot of houses, let's say care houses. We've got the elderly people who need to feed themselves very nicely, but as you know, as you grow older, you don't eat as much, and you tend to lose your taste. So we use some plant like the Sichuan button, like a lot of different type of plant, or have been used into this context because they're very healthy, they're very nutritious, but also they're very tasty also. So it's funny because you come back as a kids, and when you do your life as an adult, eating processed food and everything we surround it, and suddenly back to the care home as we do, we come back to real food again. I can't be. I'm delighted to hear what I hear about these TikToks and social media as well, because I've got a big I've got a big, I won't say an issue, but everybody can be a professor today. You go on social media. Before you need to go to school, you have to speak to professional. So now you can wake up just in the morning and become a professional in 10 seconds. So you've got so much misinformation who's going around, which is very, very ridiculous. So once again,
and dangerous when
it's
it comes
dangerous.
to health.
Of course, it's dangerous. Absolutely, it's dangerous
So
because you can preach
safety.
and you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah.
But there is no foundation to it.
Yeah.
Mother Nature, Mother Nature has been here before us, now in the present time, and after us. Whatever we do in the world, in the North Pole, you've got a bank, a seed bank. We have all the seeds of the world that's been kept there just in case we are silly enough, us as human beings, to shoot ourselves. That could happen. Yesterday, I hope, let's part to the past. But Mother Nature will always succeed. Will always be on top of us. So let's be a bit humble about what we do and respect it as much as we can.
Oh, fantastic. Abbas Khan, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, to Mark's point of misinformation. So again, as a part of as a leading company in the Saudi market, we engage with communities at different forums. So as I mentioned, B2B, B2C. Tanmia has launched a project called Tanmia Academy, whereby we not only teach how to adopt sustainable practices, but also we have our own internal plan. So you start with your own in-house, right? So within the employees, the colleagues that we work with within Tanmia, we teach them about how to differentiate between. So when you go to the market, right, and you want to buy a product, my product, for example, is the fresh chicken. You want to see certain certifications, right? We were the first one to introduce blockchain to basically track where this chicken is coming from.
Traceability.
The traceability, right? So this is a concept new in this market, but has been there in Europe, in US and UK especially, where you trace back from the shelf all the way back to, even in case of fish, right? You trace it back. We are introducing here in Saudi.
Also, electronic car. Don't forget the electronic car.
Yeah. So again, the idea is that we are in the market, and as a part of our social responsibility, we want to ensure that the consumer, whichever product they purchase, they should make informed decision and not based on the 10-second professor video on a TikTok.
Unfortunately, it's in all industries.
Sorry, I was going to add something on that because it's very interesting. You're talking about traceability. So it doesn't work only in the world of chicken and meat and different type. It always works in plant, funny enough, because Copper Crest 20 years ago when they started, the business started to get good, and you've got more and more of copycat, that we call it. A lot of more business who started to do the same thing. So what Copper Crest done, they actually put in a range 25 certified seeds. So that means they're certified. That means the seeds are the same quality for the last 20 years. So everywhere in the world there is 20 certified seeds. So what they've done on top of that, as it was our business, but our owners decided to create another company who's called Songo Seed, and we are selling our seed to our competitors. So that way we know that whatever it's on the market there is certified for everybody. So that's something to so I just pointed out how important it is to have traceability, because it works in all different levels at all different things.
Absolutely. Yes. And maybe, Abbas Khan, you didn't tell us what did you answer to your wife?
So I joined Tanmia as head of audit, and my first audit was, I sat in front of my nutritionist and asked him, take me to the farm. I want to see everything by myself. And now, alhamdulillah, my daughter, my wife, my family, my neighbors, they're all eating Tanmia.
All right, maybe one final round of questions, guys. Do you have any success stories, successful collaborations or partnerships that have specifically targeted reduction of waste and food waste, etc.? Any?
Well, there is some restaurant chain, a very well restaurant Akrasam group of the Theo group, we work with groups of restaurants. And their ethic is very simple, is to reduce the waste as well, and they know copper cress very well. So I am often with the executive chefs or the culinary director, and we create actually a box specially for them, for different reasons. In this box, you would have actually a mix of what they use in a restaurant. So instead to buy a mix, instead of about one variety and only one, or instead about 4 and have some waste, we create actually boxes specially for them. So if they use 100 boxes in a week on this particular box, then we grow it on purpose, we put them in a box, we give it to them. So there is no wastage on either end of it. So this is actually what Coppercrest does. I think we're only one doing that because it's another extent. You need to be serious about sustainability. And this is a big word, so everybody uses it like this a bit everywhere. But when you start from the bottom to the top, to the bottom, you need to follow it all through. And that's what we do with the macrogreens.
Brilliant. Maybe I'll ask Khan if you have, and Endo, if you have any successful
yes, before
partnerships.
5 years ago, there is a small team from Tanmia take the lead for the idea of the treatment of the water in one of our factories. It's a small project, and now it's the main project under SGI. And
Saudi
we
Green
are
Initiative.
Saudi
Yeah.
Green Initiative, and we are so proud about our team in Tanmia, and there is
So it
technical.
is going beyond Tamia.
Yeah,
That's
inshallah.
brilliant.
So basically,
there is technical ideas before, I think, your team working in that this is the real story and success story we can.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So when you are in the desert, right? Our facilities are almost 2 hours drive from Riyadh, right? You know the temperature, here. Okay. And as you approach our 1 million tree area, right? The temperature difference between the main road and when you drive through the trees is just beautiful. It's a beautiful experience, and you can see if you are flying towards Jeddah, I think you can see from the top.
I'll pay more attention
The
next time.
forest. It's a forest now.
Yes, it's a small forest now.
Amazing.
And generated out of the wastewater, which was our problem, right? What to do with this? And one small idea from one of our blue collar worker. I think let's do that.
And we can scale that.
And now we are scaling. So now it's part of my responsibility that every time we build a new slaughterhouse or a factory, okay, we see the area around it, whether it has a plantation area or not.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
I think also I think it's a good idea to invite the chefs to come in us and then plan it in our forest, because there is also some chefs from around the
Almost every visitor
yes
who
Coming
who
to
we
us.
invite, we take them to our forest and let them plant their own tree.
then put the name of
Yeah.
each yes, the name of
And
each
I'll
one.
tell you something very interesting for the circular economy that we're trying to do. These trees, okay, it requires soil, okay. Now we have our farms, and the litter from the farms gets used to enrich the soil. Then you have the trees, and the wood shaves, the branches of those trees can be used to put a bedding for our chicken, right? So you can see there's a circular economy going in play.
You should invite Frank to come and check it out.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to. That's why I stand up when you put your little video at the beginning, because I come back to my world of plants. When you talk about sustainable, you can't avoid the fact. Then look at where we are and what we do. Look at all these companies around the world here, from Italy, from everywhere in the world. So there is some transportation involved. There is some footprint involved. So you can't not talk about that. If you're very serious about it, you need to point it out. So what we do at Coppercrest, we actually, every time I take the flight with my colleagues, they look at their carbon footprint. And that's very important. Every time we've got companies called Uniglobe who's taking care of that. We've got team at Coppercrest actually calculate everything. And every time we pass the things for the carbon footprint, they plant a tree as well in the Netherlands. This is true. You can check it out on our website. And I have to myself as well. Every time I've got a table to do, and every time I go somewhere, I send it back to a company, and I do that. So that's why when you pass the video, I was standing, I was, oh, they're planting trees, they're beautiful, because they do the same thing in a different way. But because you need to talk about it, because you know it's all good to carry one box to one place to another.
I think the whole idea is to share those best practices in what you're doing in the Netherlands and what you're doing here. I mean, there are lots of synergies, and
I just want to add one thing, right? As I mentioned, from our chicken manure, we produce synthetic gas as well as biochar, and from the biochar, you do create plastic. Okay, we have launched a project where we use our plastic to develop these. Okay, and these plastics, the one that we are using, will be biodegradable. So which means that when you put them on the ground, they'll disintegrate automatically.
Well, we need to talk because we've been okay. Sorry everybody.
Now it's getting to like a very
2:01.
personal Livingston conversation.
we need to talk because we're looking for a company who does just that. So
But brilliant. I think that's the idea of Sirha, and it is great to have those synergies. Well, guys, thank you very much. It was great having this conversation, and continue the good work.
Thank you very much.
All the best. Thank you so much.
Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.